Hello everybody, Remarkable Republican here to bring you the truth with a truth-flavored bias, and today I would like to talk about all of the lies that mainstream science has told us about our own solar system. The main lies actually revolve around the planet Saturn, and that's why I've chosen to start out with a graphic of Saturn. This is a picture of Saturn taken by a telescope. This is a picture of Saturn a little bit zoomed out, which shows you the real reason why people are telling lies about Saturn. Look at all of the moons, and we'll come back to Titan later in the video. But it is because of the potential of moons like Titan that we've been told so many lies about Saturn. The mainstream understanding of the solar system is that Jupiter is the largest planet, it's the fifth from the sun, and then Saturn is the sixth planet, and it's the second largest, almost twice as far from the sun as Jupiter. However, even in this graphic where mainstream scientists are trying to promote their own biased and ridiculous view of the universe, we see here that they've slipped up and made Saturn bigger. They admitted that Saturn is actually the larger planet. There are other reasons why we know Saturn's a larger planet, such as the fact that it has more moons, but we'll come back to some of those reasons in a moment. And we'll also see that both the relative order of these planets around the sun is wrong, and there are many problems with this really neat, boiled down, ridiculous view of the solar system. Based on the arbitrary and made up idea of how far each planet is from the sun, scientists have created this graphic to show how big the sun would appear from each planet. The problem is when we actually go to those planets and then take pictures of the sun, we see that it does not match up with that at all. I will show you some examples. From Jupiter's moon Europa, the sun would look like this, with Jupiter in the foreground. Now, the main reason why I bring this up is to show you the relative brightness of the sun, but I'd also like to make a little short tangent about Europa. Many scientists hold it to be the most promising place for life in the solar system. However, you can see from their depiction of the surface that they make it an airless, shitty place. It's a place with no air and no liquid water, so I don't really see how it could possibly support life. This is a bad argument that scientists are putting out there, and I'm not entirely clear why. In contrast, here is a picture of the planet Saturn taken by a flyby probe, and you can see the sun behind it. The thing I want you to notice is that the sun in this picture is clearly a lot brighter than the sun in the picture from Europa, which means that Saturn is closer to the sun than Jupiter. Here is a supposed picture of the Earth from Saturn. Now, the problem with this picture is that it's supposed to be representing the Earth and the Moon. Remember, elsewhere we saw the picture where we could see all of Saturn's moons from the Earth. The moon that we have is actually bigger than most of Saturn's moons, so it should be visible, yet it isn't. That means that this is a picture of some other body or planet taken from Saturn, and it is a fraud being perpetrated by NASA for the purposes of fooling people about the relative sizes and locations of different planets. In 2007, Alex Jones interviewed David Rothschild about global warming elsewhere in the solar system, and he basically asked him how it is that things are getting warmer on Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And David Rothschild responded by saying that the reason is because those planets are all closer to the sun. Now, they didn't follow this comment up, but it was a revealing remark which shows that David Rothschild knows something that is not known to the general public. And he let it slip out, and he refused to comment on it further despite Alex Jones probing him pretty hard for clarification. Here we see the Moon, Jupiter, and Venus orbiting close together. Now, obviously, the Moon is close to us and in the foreground, and then Jupiter and Venus are way back there. The thing is, in this picture, the only way that two objects which are in completely opposite directions from us could be that close together is if those objects are actually not at all in completely different parts of our solar system. They must be a lot closer together than we think for them to be pictured that close together in our own sky. It's just common sense. Back to Titan, the largest moon of Saturn. So why is Titan so important? Well, in this picture you just see this orange ball, And the only thing you can tell from it is that Titan has a thick atmosphere, which is really weird for a moon. Most moons either have a very thin atmosphere or none at all. But Titan has a very thick atmosphere of heavy gases that protect it from the sun. That means that, like the Earth, it has the ability to retain heat. So even if it is supposedly really far away, it might be retaining a lot of heat. What's really exciting is that if you look at Titan through an infrared filter, then what you see is that there are lakes, rivers, and oceans of water on the surface of Titan. Now, mainstream scientists like to pretend that these lakes, rivers, and oceans are made out of methane, but that also makes no sense. Furthermore, by admitting the amount of methane on Saturn, what they're telling us is that Saturn is a treasure trove of greenhouse gases. The further away you are from the sun, the more greenhouse gases you need to stay warm. So even if Titan is as far away from the sun as scientists would have us believe, it still has enough methane to maintain heat and to take the heat that it does get from the sun and retain liquid water on its surface. So it's really a very promising place and almost certainly harbors life. The strongest proof that Titan harbors life is that, just like the Earth, it has a lot of distinguishing features that other planets and moons do not share. With this rich atmosphere, Titan has storms, seasons, and weather, things that we don't really see on other planets. Now, Mars has seasons, but it doesn't have weather. We also see that because of the presence of large quantities of liquid water, Titan has features that only the Earth has, like valleys and things like that. Valleys, mountains, gorges, all that kind of stuff. And if all of these things are the same as Earth, then it only stands to reason that Titan also harbors life in the same way that Earth does. And if you think otherwise, you don't really understand how life and science actually work. I urge all of you to write to NASA and demand that we have a manned mission to Titan in the near future. This is a mission that we could probably pull off within the next 10 to 15 years, and we could probably also settle colonists on Titan with only minimal life support gear. It's not really a hostile environment for humans. You look at it, it looks like Earth. Sure, there's less vegetation, but look at it. It's clearly an Earth-like place, and with the low gravity, it would actually be a great place to go if you're an elderly person with bad bones, because then you wouldn't have to worry as much about breaking a hip or something of that nature, and you would be able to walk around a lot more freely. Anyway, this has been Remarkable Republican, bringing you the truth with a truth-flavored bias, signing out.